Year of the Dragon is a breath, or puff, of fresh air that reminded me that 3D platformers don't need dozens of different movement options or complex intersecting environments to be fun. It just needs a unique presentation style and smooth, lightweight controls. This review will focus on the latter. Mario 64 was the genesis for 3D platformers. After its wild critical and commercial success, everyone tried to imitate it. I personally don't think anyone surpassed it until Nintendo themselves with the release of Mario Sunshine. During this time, developers experimented with trying to find the formula for 3D platformers. Insomniac's idea was a game based around gliding rather than jumping. However, I think the original idea was a dragon mascot platformer, but that still opens up the player to a unique control scheme. Floaty combat is often called a bad thing in video games, and I understand you want to feel the viscerality of your strikes, but Spyro proves that floaty combat can be, well, I'm not sure if it's satisfying, but it's soothing, if you get what I mean. Floatiness is a theme throughout the whole game, set in a whimsical fantasy setting about magic dragons getting back their eggs from a dastardly sorceress. Very light-hearted bedtime story stuff. And Spyro sort of plays like a character from a dream. He has a graceful prance and calming glide as he moves without wind resistance. It just all feels so fluid and free-flowing, like the whole game takes place within a dream bubble border, although most of that is credited to the animations of Spyro. He fits in so well with the phantasmagorical world he's in. The gameplay really matches how an inhabitant of this quixotic realm would interact with it. But Spyro isn't without its pleasurable moments. I love the frantic motions of the charge, followed by the satisfying crunch of the impact against thick Rhinoc hide, and I adore Spyro's dazzling fire breath attack, but of course it's the same size as him, which is how the gameplay reminds us that Spyro is supposed to be a child, not entirely in control of the great strength he wields as a dragon. But that is how Spyro the Dragon plays, and this isn't a review of Spyro the Dragon, this is a gameplay review of Spyro Year of the Dragon. I chose Year of the Dragon specifically because of the animal companions you can play with for certain side levels and challenges. I'm a little annoyed that they weren't all creatures found in the Chinese zodiac, for which the game is named after. And I've got to say, these things are terrible. I was really expecting these wild new styles of play with the same care and panache that Spyro's gameplay has, but these guys just suck. While Spyro feels free-flowing and exuberant, these animals just feel clunky and stifled and oh so basic. Sheila's bouncing is annoying and you can never get the timing right. On top of that, her kicks feel like they have too short a range, and the whole character just feels off. Maybe it's from switching from the relaxed feeling of Spyro to this clunkiness, but it's just completely off-putting. Sergeant Bird is better as he doesn't have any unwieldy platforming, but then again he doesn't have any platforming at all since he can infinitely fly. His sections are just way too easy, with his ability to fire long-distance attacks means that there's very little in the way of challenging gameplay for him, and when he is presented with danger, you can avoid it by moving in literally any direction. However, I do enjoy his motif and playstyle. Bentley the Yeti. Dear God. He can't jump, always a good sign for a platformer. He's slow and cumbersome, another excellent trait for the genre, and his unique gimmick is swinging a club down. Jankily, I might add. Bentley is the absolute antithesis of why I love this game, and Spyro's gameplay specifically, and you can tell that Insomniac adored this character by having his stages be boxing and whack-a-mole. Truly standout work. Finally, we arrive at Agent 9, and this is what the companions should have been. A quirky design with a gameplay style that feels nothing like Spyro, but still maintains the refined handling and transfers it to a different genre. While the other companions feel like revisions or extensions of one of Spyro's abilities, Agent 9 can be his own character and do something different exceptionally well. Obviously, if we were to compare Agent 9 to Gears of War, he'd be hilariously outclassed, but this is far and above what I'd expect for some gimmick levels in a 3D platformer. While overall I would say I don't enjoy these side characters, I fear my complaints about them may be disproportionate, as you're only required to play as them once. After that, every level with them is optional, and it's incredibly easy to play the rest of the game without them. This is a double-edged sword, because on one hand I think that most of them are terrible, while Spyro is an absolute delight to play as, so I definitely don't mind them being sidelined in favour of the main event. On the other hand, these guys are meant to be the unique selling point of Year of the Dragon, so with them having such a minimal role, is Year of the Dragon really all that different gameplay-wise from Spyro 1 and 2? I suppose there is another unique gameplay style to Year of the Dragon, which is the skateboarding. The odd thing about the skateboarding is that it doesn't feel thematic with the rest of the game. Like, I imagine Spyro as a fantasy kingdom from a Disney film, and suddenly there's skateboarding, but I didn't question the penguin sergeant with a rocket launcher and synergistic styles are for world reviews, so I'll move on. Year of the Dragon's skateboarding feels so polished. It has such an excellent grasp of momentum, and it feels so gratifying to slide up and down ramps. The animations and sound design just make skating purr with delight. Where it fumbles for me are the races. I love the skateboard, but when asked to speed along a set course against other opponents, that's when it starts to become frustrating. I have to start pulling off tricks and make sure I don't plunge myself into a pit, and what was once therapeutically pleasing becomes a gauntlet of perfect kick flips and boost resource management. Spyro Year of the Dragon is a magical 3D platformer, with a main character that has graceful movement, exuberant animations, and flashy yet impactful attacks. In contrast, the side characters could have done with tweaking, if not significant overhauls, but Year of the Dragon may have signified the end for Spyro, but he went out in a sea of fireworks with a bang.